Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching the Trendy Burning Question with me, Shavan Singh. It comes on a day when the Aam Aadmi Party had suffered a major setback with their party chief, Arvind Kejriwal, being sent to Tihar jail. Questions were essentially being raised as to who exactly is going to lead the Aam Aadmi Party. Today it comes across as a big relief for the party as their senior leader, Sanjay Singh, has been granted bail from the Supreme Court, marking a significant development in the ongoing Liquorgate scandal. With questions that have been raised over ED's handling of the case and no money being recovered from Sanjay Singh's possession, the court's decision comes across as a big relief for Aam Aadmi Party. What is it that the Enforcement Directorate has been saying and how exactly has that been countered? The question here is that whether at all this is going to have any impact on the other leaders who are still behind bars. For instance, the former Deputy Chief Minister of Delhi, Manish Sisodia, Satyendra Jain, yet another minister who's behind the bars, and the implications that Singh's release has on AAP's political standing in the upcoming Lok Sabha elections. Now, that apart, the Enforcement Directorate too has some answering to do. Can you actually just rely on witness statements before taking any action against an accused? If you really take a look at what has happened with regards to Arvind Kejriwal, this is what the legal counsel of Arvind Kejriwal have to say. What was the need of the arrest? And secondly, was it only based on the witness statements that have been recorded? The question here is also about money trail. After all, the Enforcement Directorate is essentially looking at whether at all there has been exchange of money. Aam Aadmi Party says that the Enforcement Directorate hasn't been able to find out where exactly is the money that they are really talking about. Enforcement Directorate says the money has already been utilized through Hawala transactions. All said and done, with the Supreme Court now saying that this cannot be seen as a precedent, can the Aam Aadmi Party also say that the allegations that have been levelled against them are all clear? Take a look at this report and then we begin the trending burning question.
In a big relief for the Aam Aadmi Party, AAP MP Sanjay Singh was granted bail by the Supreme Court. After questioning the Enforcement Directorate over the arrest of Sanjay Singh in the Liquorgate scam, the Supreme Court said that no money was recovered from Sanjay Singh's possession. The ED failed to oppose the bail application.
माननीय सर्वोच्च न्यायालय में जब बेल एप्लीकेशन पे आर्गुमेंट चल रही थी तो ईडी से कुछ सवाल पूछे गए थे। बाद में माननीय सर्वोच्च न्यायालय ने पूछा कि आप बताइए इनको क्यों ना जमानत दे दी जाए, आपको क्या ऑब्जेक्शन है, क्योंकि वो लोग पहले किसी भी बात का ठीक रिप्लाई नहीं दे पाए थे। इस वजह से बहुत बड़ी राहत के रूप में हम संजय सिंह जी का इस केस में हम समझ रहे हैं।
हमने देखा कि किस तरह से पिछले 2 साल से एक एक करके आम आदमी पार्टी के नेताओं को झूठे केसों में गिरफ्तार किया जा रहा था, फंसाया जा रहा था। ऐसे अप्रूवर्स जिन्होंने 1 बार, 2 बार, 3 बार, 4 बार पहले बयान दिए, लेकिन उन पे दबाव बनाया गया, उनको धमकाया गया, उनको जेल में डाला गया, जब तक उन्होंने आम आदमी पार्टी के नेताओं के खिलाफ गवाही नहीं दी।
Meanwhile, the BJP continued to charge at Aam Aadmi Party's vendetta narrative.
एक प्रकार से अपने आप को दोष मुक्त बताने के लिए तो आज इस अति उत्साह में इस आम आदमी पार्टी ने अपने और आप को एक और गहरे संकट में डाल दिया। In their over enthusiasm, in order to claim and to clutch at straws, to try and project a routine, ordinary bail as some sort of a clean sheet and a victory, the Aam Aadmi Party has further indicted itself today.
वो तो उनको बेल मिल गई और ईडी ने अपोज भी नहीं किया। देखिए इसका हमारी जो कोर्ट सिस्टम की, हमारी जुडिशरी की जो रोबस्ट इंडिपेंडेंस है, अब वो कहते हैं कल जब राहुल गांधी जी बोल रहे थे उस दिन रामलीला मैदान, उन्होंने बोला इलेक्शन कमीशन ये फिक्स्ड मैच है, इलेक्शन कमिश्नर भी आपके हैं, जुडिशरी भी आपकी है। अरे भाई जुडिशरी हमारी होती तो ये इतनी बढ़िया स्कीम है इलेक्ट्रल बॉन्ड, क्यों उन्होंने उसको नेगेटिव कर दिया? तो ये हमारी डेमोक्रेसी की खासियत है कि हम अगर कोर्ट्स इंडिपेंडेंट है, वो जो भी निर्णय लेंगे, पर ईडी ने अपोज भी नहीं किया।
माननीय न्यायालय बेल दिया है तो अब उनको तो कहिए कि माननीय न्यायालय को धन्यवाद देने के लिए जेल भी माननीय न्यायालय भेज रहे हैं, बेल भी माननीय न्यायालय दे रहे हैं, लेकिन ये संविधान विरोधी संवैधानिक संस्था का अपमान करने वाले लोग ये दोहरे चरित्र अपनाते हैं, जनता के बीच भ्रम फैलाते हैं और संविधान का, संवैधानिक संस्था का अपमान करते हैं।
Singh was arrested by the Enforcement Directorate on 4th of October 2023 in the money laundering case, citing his alleged role in framing and implementation of the now scrapped Delhi excise policy. In the original allegations, ED had claimed that Singh had taken 2 crore rupees as kickbacks. However, the Supreme Court noted that there is no money trail proved in this case. Singh, a Rajya Sabha MP, has been in jail for 6 months and is now the first AAP leader to be granted regular bail in the scam. With AAP supremos still behind the bars, Singh's bail marks a breather for the Aam Aadmi Party. How will Sanjay Singh's release impact Aam Aadmi Party's standing in the Lok Sabha poll race? Will this change AAP's luck? That is the trending burning question tonight.
Shazia Ilmi of the Bharatiya Janata Party joining us on this broadcast along with Manasvi Thapar. Shazia, Justice Khanna, this is what he said, and I'm quoting him. You have kept him in custody for 6 months. Dinesh Arora has not initially implicated him. Later on in a statement he does. No money has been recovered. The trace of money is not there because it was long back. Fact of the matter is that money has not been recovered. Please keep in mind that if we are with him, we are required to record in terms of Section 45 that he has prima facie not committed an offence. That could have its own ramifications in the trial. The question that I want to ask you is this, Shazia, that the agency appears to be in the dock right now with not being able to provide any evidence with regards to the alleged kickbacks that were received by the Aam Aadmi Party.
So, Shravan, first of all, let me make it very clear. I don't speak for any agency, nor do I speak for the courts. I don't speak for the judiciary, neither do I speak for any of the agencies. And at the very fact that Sanjay Singh has been granted bail just goes on to show, as Hardeep Puri just rightly said, the robustness and the efficacy and the neutrality of our respective courts. But it is the same courts which refused bail to Manish Sisodia and Satyendra Jain at the highest level. So if this means that Sanjay Singh is indeed free to go or is there's some relief, then it also goes on to prove that something is not all right and something is seriously wrong with the way excise policy happened, in which Manish Sisodia and Satyendra Jain in another matter and many others arrested, about 12 of them, because there were 14 arrests and now they're 12. All of them, there is something not just wrong, but they're totally complicit in the excise scam. Because if this proves that Sanjay Ji is free to go, it also proves that Manish is not free to go. So by the same logic, conversely, it means that. And it also goes on to show, and I think both Rahul Gandhi and the entire team of AAP owes an apology to this nation for having doubted the judiciary of our country. You can say things about ED or CBI because you want to conflate it and make it appear as if it's Modi ji. But who gives you bail? The courts. Who sends you to jail? The courts. And not ED, not CBI, not even the Prime Minister. So stop peddling that lie and come clean and be honest and don't bring down the country every time you talk when your leaders go to jail.
Manasvi, the logic here is this, that you did have a section within the Aam Aadmi Party raising questions about whether at all this investigation is completely biased. The very fact they said, where exactly is the money? This has been countered too, Manasvi, that when you have Hawala transactions that have taken place, how exactly would you have any recovery that has been made? So it is simplistic when they make this entire argument that, look here, they found no money. Obviously, they'll not find any money if that money has already been utilized through Hawala transactions that have actually taken place. And you would have those Hawala operators who have been taken into custody. Some have been taken into custody, some whose statements have been recorded. So simply saying that they have not found any money means I'm not guilty.
we have to talk about today's context, and hawala money does not go in hawa, it goes somewhere, so there has to be some trail. So that is what the Supreme Court also asked or said orally, was that where is the money trail. The Supreme Court is asking it, and ED could not till date find money trail, and this particular guy Sanjay Singh ji has been in jail since last 6 months. So the reality of it, where is the proceed of crime? So you have to trace it back. You could not trace it back. So that's the reality, and it is a massive thing for Aam Aadmi Party. Why when we say that is because agencies are behind the opposition, and Aam Aadmi Party specifically, most of their leaders are behind, the top leaders are behind the bar, and this is a great relief for them, and it also shows the optics are not going right with this particular judgment for the BJP, and the optics will not go right because agency could not prove a 2 crore trace. So Dinesh Arora, which has become an approver, he made that statement, yes, I gave this money to XYZ, and where is that money? That money you could not prove in last 6 months. So where did that money go? So you have to create that trace. A XYZ person comes and says that I gave money to XYZ ABCD person, and you can't prove that. You can investigate as much as you want to, but there is law of this country also. The highest court of this country will ask you this question to the agency also, that where is the trace, where is the money, where is the proceed of crime. So that till date, while Shazia ji is a spokesperson of the BJP, she cannot answer that because ED cannot, because she's not a spokesperson of ED. So the question is on ED, not Shazia ji. Where is the proceed of crime?
Before I take that,
Manasvi, but it's at the same time. 1 minute. At the same time,
when she does not have answer, she says that you are repeating yourself.
At the same time, you do have the Supreme Court saying that this cannot be treated as a precedent. You cannot see this as simply as a precedent too. Manasvi, let's understand one thing. That he has been granted bail.
Yeah, that is true. It is not a precedent, that's right.
Has also taken.
It is not a precedent, that is right. The Supreme Court also says that.
It's not like a clean sheet that has been given. 1 minute. Just hear me out. I did actually quote what Justice Khanna had to say. Let me also quote what was it that the court had to say when they were hearing the bail plea of Manish Sisodia as well as Satyendra Jain. Prima facie evidence against both the leaders. One of the reasons why Satyendra Jain was asked to go back to Tihar jail, Manasvi, was because the court, in their wisdom, believed that there is enough evidence to send the person back to the jail. So the fact of the matter is this, that while you cannot have both the leaders being seen from the same prism, simply because there's evidence against both the leaders, but the reality is this, you had a section within the party casting aspersions on the judiciary itself, including some of the other India Alliance leaders who simply said that, look here, this is all part of that fixed match. If it was all part of the fixed match, then perhaps Sanjay Singh should have also been behind bars.
We have to look at from the spectrum of that we cannot have an innocent person be behind the bars. What is happening in today's time and age is the criminal jurisprudence is criminal until proven guilty. But what happens right now is before the trial has started, before any kind of conclusion or any kind of judgment by any of the courts or the trial court, we are coming to conclusions. Yes, this particular person, when it comes from the opposition, yes, he is guilty. Yes, there is a scam. Yes, there is a corruption. But prima facie, in the specific case of Sanjay Singh, which we are discussing right now, where is that approver, Mr. Dinesh Arora, when he said that I had given money to Sanjay Singh? Where is that money? Where is that trace? 6 months a particular person has been behind the bars, but till date, we could not prove that particular 2 crores given by Dinesh Arora to Sanjay Singh. So, can we trust this approver? The question comes to my mind is, can we trust these approvers?
Yes,
we cannot trust these approvers anymore.
You are relying on what
can you trust the approver? And Shazia, hear me out. Shazia, hear me out. Take my question too. Manasvi says that can you really trust the approver? I'm adding one more question to here. Can you simply go by statements that have been given by people who were an accused in the case at a later stage? The agency feels that, okay, if the person becomes an approver, perhaps it strengthens my case. Is that really good enough? Because as far as Arvind Kejriwal is concerned, I do not see a single place from the remand that we have accessed. Nowhere is it written that he's been part of the conspiracy.
Yes, and Shravan, you yourself cover court proceedings. Just a statement or testimony of approver is not used and cannot be used as fait accompli. It has to be corroborated with evidence that is available. And there has been ample evidence because there were 14 arrests earlier and then 2 more added. And as and when people came through, more and more information was elicited. It was after K. Kavita was arrested, which is when we got some more information. And that's when Arvind Kejriwal, who was dodging the summons 9 times over, went to Delhi High Court, which actually asked this question as to why he's not been taken in. So it is, so where one court says this, you start celebrating. When the other court says something totally contrary, you question the neutrality. So I think there is a problem there. And going beyond the legal questions here, I don't think it's very, very good for Aam Aadmi Party that Sanjay Singh is coming back. You're talking about the ramifications. So legality we discussed, but from whatever I know, and I know a fair amount of stuff because I was part of that party and that Andolan way back. Now there are a lot of newbies who I don't know, but at that point of time, so there's some of the old ones are saying because there is such a spanner in the works thrown in by Kejriwal himself yesterday, talking about and bringing to everybody's notice the testimony of Vijay Nair, where he actually says that he's been reporting to Atishi and Saurabh, because of which both of them are stumped right now. And then here comes the release of Sanjay Singh. So it only muddies the waters.
Say the buses.
And I think... So I think it's
I find this a little interesting.
Very
I find this a little interesting.
Time allow
Syed. No, Syed, I'll surely give you the time. Don't worry.
They might hijack the party.
I find this a little interesting.
He would appear as a super CM. Now we have another player.
Now I find this extremely interesting because you have a classic situation coming up. You have a very interesting situation coming up here. You have a man who's just next to the Chief Minister's bungalow. That bungalow is not meant for this gentleman called Vijay Nair. He happens to be the communication manager, does not hold any official position, but has been given what is supposed to be the bungalow of another minister. Happily given to this gentleman. No explanation that has been given. The Chief Minister says that, look here, I don't have anything to do with this man, even though he's my neighbor. Even though he's my neighbor, that bungalow does not belong to him, but I have given him. But that person does not report to me. Now, how bizarre a logic can that be, Syed Abbas?
All right, so let me now tell you something very straight, Shawan Saab. I will definitely answer the question. But before that, on a lighter note, Shazia ji, की बहुत वरिष्ठ प्रवक्ता है, शाजिया जी, मैं आपको कहना चाहूंगा, जो आप इतना मुस्कुरा रहे हो, क्या हम हैं जिसको छुपा रहे हो? बता दो आपको शवन साहब, I can understand today, I've been a part of several debates. It's fantastic, absolutely fantastic to see BJP spokesperson turn into enforcement direct spokesperson, and they're still not able to defend the indefensible. The fact is Sanjay Singh got bail. Justice Khanna quoted, no money trail, no money recovered, absolutely nothing. Why do you want to keep him in jail? Also, as a matter of fact, I really wish the enforcement directorate had come to argue. Why did they not ask you? Why didn't they come to argue? Because of the simple reason they have no case here. Had they come to argue, the justice, this court would have taken them to task, asking for the merits of the case, asking for the intervention of the approver, asking why Dinesh Arora, after 9 statements, did not say a word on Sanjay Singh, but on the 10th statement, after getting bail, he implicates Sanjay Singh. The fact is, na sir hai, na pair hai, no head, no tail, and you have put this innocent man 6 months in jail. The fact of the matter is, देखिए, इब्तिदाई सियासत है, रोता है क्या, आगे आगे देख, होता है क्या, सिर्फ संजय सिंह नहीं, अरविंद केजरीवाल, सत्येंद्र जैन, मनीष सिसोदिया, सभी बाहर आएंगे, और भाजपा को ये देखना पड़ेगा, क्योंकि शवन साहब, जुल्मी जब भी जुल्म करेगा, सत्ता की गलियारों से चप्पा चप्पा गूंज उठेगा, इनखलाब के नारों से, इनको जनार्दन रेड्डी से अलायंस करने में कोई तकलीफ नहीं होती. कौन जनार्दन रेड्डी? कर्नाटक स्टेट का 70,000 mining crore. Not just that, Nirmala Sitharaman ji said in a news summit that everybody is welcome.
You did not answer, Syed Abbas.
No, I think
Syed Abbas, you did not answer my simple question.
This is not fair. Shawan, I'm not getting my time.
There is no doubt about the fact. There is no doubt about the fact.
I did not speak between anybody.
Syed, I do understand. do understand. I do
30
understand.
seconds, please.
Syed, I do understand the temptation that you have right now to celebrate this. Of course, you should. But the fact, Syed, do answer my question when I asked you that don't you find this a bizarre logic? When you have a neighbor, that too, not an ordinary neighbor, someone who stays in a bungalow which is meant to be that of a minister, has no official role to play. He's not an MLA, he's not a parliamentarian, but he's been given a bungalow right next to the Chief Minister's residence. And the Chief Minister says, look here, I have nothing to do. I don't know this person. This person reports to my fellow colleagues. And the fellow colleagues don't respond to that also. Have you really heard anything from Atishi or for that matter Saurabh Bhardwaj with regards to Vijay Nair?
Shravanji, you've asked a very important question. I will answer it. 1 year, 6 months back, Vijay Nair was asked, who do you report to in the Aam Aadmi Party? Vijay Nair stated that I report to Atishi and Saurabh Bhardwaj. That was the answer. The same question was asked day before yesterday to Arvind Kejriwal ji, who does Vijay Nair report to? Arvind Kejriwal said the same. He reports to Atishi and Saurabh. Now, coming to the question about the neighbor, how is there could be many a presence of the neighbors around my place, your place, or anybody's place. It's not necessary that a position of the chief minister has all information of his neighbors. And it's not just the relatives, even neighbors, we can't choose many a times. So therefore, this question honestly must be addressed to the likes of Arvind Kejriwal ji. That would be the right way to go ahead. And neighbor, not neighbor, that's not pertinent here. And by the way, even Vijay Nair, coming to the merits of the case, is not a criminal here. Undoubtedly, he is in the jail, but he's not convicted of any crime. So therefore, for the Bharatiya Janata Party to celebrate...
Okay, Shazia, one quick word. Shazia, one quick word.
No, it's very important that I say that because of all the cliched, hackneyed stuff our friend came up with, which draws a yawn really. But obviously he missed out because I answered these questions in the beginning too. So now Vijay Nair, who runs an events management company, is strangely made the media in charge and given a ministerial bungalow. That's one. Now there are connections obviously with Manish Sisodia and the whole policy is brought in. And also if it's being made out to be that Sanjay Singh, because he's got bail, he's going scot-free and there is no case against anybody, is a complete misrepresentation and understanding of what's happened. The very same Supreme Court and all the courts in question have actually denied the bail of both Satyendra Jain and Manish Sisodia. And now that Sanjay Singh is back, I think all the chances of Sunita Kejriwal becoming the super CM and Atishi and Saurabh hijacking the party, which insinuated by what Arvind Kejriwal said and repeated Vijay Nair. So on the one hand, Arvind Kejriwal says he has nothing to do with Vijay Nair. But in case of Atishi and Saurabh, what does he say? He agrees with what Vijay Nair is saying.
Shravan, can I please come in? Shravan, can I come in?
Syed, I've given you the opportunity. Let me just get a quick word. Let me just get a quick word from Manasvi. Manasvi, it also settles the debate. It also settles the debate. 1 minute. Manasvi, it also settles the debate that was perhaps started by the INDI alliance, saying that this was a fixed match. At least one thing is very clear, that the judiciary remains extremely independent. When it comes to the electoral bond, if you're jubilant about the fact that it has been struck down, it's because of the independence of the court. Same is the case, it is the same very court which says that there is prima facie evidence against Manish Sisodia. It is the same very court which says that where is the money as far as Sanjay Singh is concerned. So let's be very clear about one thing, that no clean sheet has been given. Questions have been asked of the Enforcement Directorate.
No, Shravan, the most important part when it comes to fixing of matches is that, yes, the judiciary is independent. Thankfully, it is independent. We are proud of our judiciary. But when it comes to the investigating authorities, and same Prime Minister Narendra Modi used to say that ED, CBI are caged parrots of UPA. And now they are similarly in that particular context, which was said in 2012 to between 14. And now look at the scenario. Now, Shazia ji, during that time, you were in Aam Aadmi Party and you also said the same thing. Shazia ji, you were in Aam Aadmi Party during that time. Please.
No, I know.
Shravan, I didn't spoke over her. So please let me speak.
It's a factual correction. Please, Shravan, correct him.
Okay.
Modi ji never said that. It was the Supreme Court which said that. to CBI.
Shravan, this is unkind of us, Shravan. Shravan, this is unkind of us.
I don't see this ending anytime soon. Okay, Manasvi, Syedabaz and Shazia, I apologize, I'll have to cut you short. We're running short of time, but I can assure you one thing, that this is not ending anytime soon. The fact that you have Sanjay Singh out, questions would be asked, who exactly is now going to run the party? Can the party still be run from inside the Tihar jail? That's the other aspect that we'll touch upon. But thank you very much for joining us on the trending burning question. On the other side, the big debate coming up with Editor-in-Chief Arnab Goswami.